right, and this is the introduction to variables. A variable stores a value that can change, and a variable value can be used in other parts of a program. A variable in computer science is not so different from a variable in math, where a variable is given a name and a user can input the value for that variable. So let's say that in a game, I have a variable called name. And when I start the game asks me to enter my name. And I type in my name, Sue. Now the variable name holds the value Sue. Now, if my friend Dana plays the game next, after I finish, she starts the game asks her to type her name in, and the variable name then holds the name Dana. So my name is deleted and Dana's name is now held in the variable name. So variables can hold one value at a time. It can change based on a user input or a program input, and we can use it in different parts of a program. So when you play a game, often in different parts of the game, it'll use your name in the sentence. So it might say, "Welcome, Sue. What character would you want to choose?" Or it might say, "Sue has this many points." And that's where variables are useful because they can be reused rather than putting in a name over and over again. It can be reused as one value that's used in multiple parts of a program. So here's the example in Scratch, because Scratch also has variables that allow for inputs. The Scratch cat says, "What's your name?" And the field below with the little blue check mark allows me to type in my name and then click on the check mark or click my return key to save my name in the variable in Scratch. So once I would type my name in, then the variable name would hold my name. Scratch variables use 3 blocks. The set block assigns a starting value to a variable. So if I create a variable called name, I want the starting name, the value that the variable name holds, just to be blank. I don't want it to be someone's name. I always just want it to be blank so that whatever person plays the game, when they enter the name, their name will be stored in the variable called name. So my set block will allow me to set the beginning value of any variable I create to blank, or if, let's say, I'm using my variable as a score, I can set the score to 0 to start a game. Or if I'm using my variable for a timer, I can set the timer to the maximum time allowed for the game and allow the timer to count down. The change block increases or decreases the variable value. So this would be used in the example of a score, where every time I score a goal or do something to earn a point in a game, my change block would change my variable value by a certain amount, by 1 point, by 2 points, by 3 points, whatever the developer decides to set the point increase by. I can also use this change block with my timer. So if I set my time for 30 seconds, I have 30 seconds to complete a task in a game, I can change my variable by -1, which will count down from 30 to 0, and then stop the gameplay. And my oval-looking block called my variable. So with variables in Scratch and in any programming language, the developer, the coder, is the one that creates the variables. The variables are not already created in Scratch. There's only one variable called my variable, and it's just a placeholder so that the developers and coders can create their own variables. When you create a variable, you want to name it to be something that represents the values it would hold. So in my example, I said, I have a variable called name, which I would use for the name that the user who plays my game enters before they play my game. If I was keeping score, I'd have a variable called score. If I had a timer for my game, I'd have a variable called time. This variable that I create is the variable that will store the value, either the time, the score, or my name, throughout the program. So my question below, variables store a value that can change, and its value can be used in other parts of a program.